Hi guys, we will do a very simple exercise in Alteryx in this case, which is customer listing and then also cohort listing as well. So the cohort in this case, I mean the set of customers joining in the same month. So as long as they join in the same month, and then we just put them in the same cohort. This is the same thing as like uh, when the children they were born in the same year and then you put them in the same class. Okay, so this is the same thing. And then cohort most of the time in our FDD context, it just to serve the like for like comparison, meaning that the same customer in the same course is they are expected to behave or in to perform in the same measures. Okay. So now we start with the same input, which is the POS data over the daily POS data over the years, and then split by the customer, and then by the by the market, customer market, and then segment. Okay, so customer here, market here, and segment here. Other the we will ignore in this case. Okay, so again, this one is a check. Before you do anything, you just check the period in order to make sure that they are like for like, and then check the starting month of the the fiscal period to make sure that it's like for like with the your AFS. And then to make sure that those sales number tie to the AFS as well. The volume, if there is, also has to tie to the ARS. Other than that, then we are done. Okay, so assuming that this is okay already, then we are done. And then I will show you how to uh, perform the customer listing. So the list of customer in here in the this column, and I will use a grouping here, and then I group all the customer together. So group by customer code. Okay, and then I will. mm, takes the first date here, time, year, Monday here. I will take the mean date and I rename it to the customer first contribution date, the customer FCD. I do the same thing with the max, and then I name it customer last contribution date. Okay, so now I have the first and the last contribution date of the customer already, but it just like the way I frame it, it's just like uh, within this within this data set is not actually the first and the last contribution date in the sense in the sense that if I have more data, then I will change my view or change my first and then my last here. Okay, so this is the first and the last subject to this database. Okay, I will take the cell here and then I will sum them all together and I will name it customer LTV, which is for the lifetime value. So according to this database, and then this customer, each customer will contribute across the lifetime, they will contribute the total of this much. And then after I run this um, workflow, I have the list of 195 customers. And for each customer, I can have the first contribution date and the last contribution date and the total contribution, which is the lifetime value here. If I want to, I can just sort this lifetime value uh, by the biggest one on top. So meaning that I will have the top customer and then the bottom customer, and then I show you the list of customers. So this one is just a customer listing. Okay, so here you see the last one contribute about 500k 5.6 so sorry 569 dollars, and then the first one about 11k. Okay, so that's the difference between the top and the bottom. Okay, so I'm done with the listing already. So customer listing is just like that. I want to see if I have duplicate customer. I want to see how many customer I have in this case, and then for each customer, I just estimate the parameter. You can estimate more, but in this case, uh, I just estimate this only. Okay. Now the next one, before going to the next one, which is cohort listing, I want to remind the practical aspect of customer listing. So in this case, we have the customer code, which is correct already, but then sometimes you are not lucky like that. Sometimes like uh, the company, they will keep track of the name of the customer, and then the name will be very different. So for example, sometimes like Microsoft as a company, as a customer, they sometimes they will Microsoft Inc. or Microsoft something something Asia something, and then it becomes like very messy if you want to count the number customer. So you will have to ask the target management if like Microsoft and then Microsoft Asia, are they the same thing, or how can you differentiate those two guys? Or the same thing, like sometimes they even type the wrongly. For example, Google, they will type like the one one O and then two G, like that, and then you have to fix the name as well. So in this case, it's just like you are lucky, and then they provide the code of the customer for you already, and then you just get lucky. But just be careful in the case when you have to fix the name before you count. Okay. Now I'll show you before before the cohort listing is there's another way to count everything in the first place in here. I just insert the some grouping tool here, and I count the number of row. I just uh, use this count, and then I count the number of rows already. Okay. If I want to count the number of order, I put the POS code here, and then I will distinct count of the transaction. Okay, I can count the month as well. So I put the month in here, and then I count distinct the DCM, which is the distinct number of month, and then I can count the number of customer in here. So count distinct DC or DCU also. Yeah, use for user. Okay, so sometimes user is considered as customer as well. So DCU or DC is okay. So after this, and then you make sure that this count, the number of customer here, must tie to this number. So 100, 195 rows or 195 customer. Otherwise, you have something wrong with the double counting already. You have to double count the number of customer already. Okay, so this one is because it's a unique count. Okay, so what does it? What do those things tell me? It tells me that the number of uh, rows here is around 78K, but then the number of transaction here is just 45K. So what does it mean? It means that the number of transaction here, the postcode here is repeated. It just means that the transaction is not reliable to count the volume. Okay, so this is also always the case when mm, the company they reuse the order numbers. So if you go to the, for example, like coconut, Mr. Coconut, or you go to the koi, they have the number 1 to 100 or to 900, and then they go back to 1 again. So number will be after the 999, and then they go back to 001. And so the meaning that the number of order will be reused, and then if you count the unique number of POS order number, then you will get the smaller number. Okay, so just to make sure, you need to check the number of orders must be the same as the number of rows. Then it means that in each row you have one order. In some cases, actually the target record the many orders in the one order in many rows. So for example, if you order like one tea, one coffee, one cake in the same order, then they will record the order in 3 rows. So row number 1 for tea, row number 2 for coffee, number 3 for cake, and then you have you have to remove the duplicate in this case in order to get the number of order. Okay, so it depends on the way the target company record the number, and you have to understand that. You have to check with the customer. You have to check with um, the target management in order to make sure that your numbers is reliable. Okay, uh, number of month here is 30 months. So I guess this period is about 30. Let me check this one and then I can tell you the number, right? So 12, 12, and then you have 24, and then plus 6, which is 30. Okay, so this one duplicates, so you cannot count, but if you sum the numbers here and number here, and then you have 30. 30 already. So this number of 30, so meaning that the historical period is about 30 months or 3 periods in this case. FY23, FY23, FY24, and YTD25, 3 periods and 30 months. So this number is fine. This number is also fine too, because after I list the customer here, I will have 190. Okay, so that done with the customer listing, right? The next one will be the cohort listing. So the cohort is you can do it directly from the customer, because the first contribution date normally, if the company is not old, then normally the joining date is the first contribution date. So meaning that when they join, then they makes order already. But because the company is like 10 years or 20-year old already, then maybe they join like very, very, very long in the past. But then because you only have 3 years of historical data, and then the first contribution doesn't mean that the customer joined in the first day. Okay, so in this case, I will assume that this first contribution date will be the cohort number. So I will derive another column here called the cohort, YMBY, and then this is the notion for cohort, date, time, format. I will use the format. Okay, and I will do the first contribution date as the uh, COH for the cohort, and then the Y, the M, slash the B, and then the Y. Okay, so this format of date is very. Let me show you the format first, and then I explain uh, the format. Okay, so this format is very easy to read. If you are the accounting guy, you can read the last 5 digits. So this one is January 23, this one August 24. Okay, so you have the month and the year in it. This one is for sorting and then also for computing as well. So if you are the computer guy, and then you read like year 23, the first month of 23, the seventh month of 23. So either way, you are good. So this YMBY format is very convenient for the both tool. And then it's very good for Power BI because this sorted already. So you don't have to be worried about the sorting order. Okay, so after this, I have the cohort here already. I can just count the number of customer for each cohort. Okay, so grouping again by cohort, count the number of cohort count. So this one is the number of you can sum the LTV as well, and then you have the if you sum this one together, actually you have the cohort lifetime value. So if you take the mean of the mean and the max of the max, and then you will have the first contribution date of the cohort as well. And hopefully this contribution date will tie back to the cohort month. Otherwise, your computation is wrong. Okay, so I take the mean, and then I cohort first contribution date, and I take the max of the max, which is the cohort last contribution date. Okay, so after this, I will run the workflow, and then I will tell you that there are, okay, let me sort this one first, because otherwise I find this very difficult to compare like for like the cohort. I sort this one by the ascending order. Okay, so in here I can tell you that this cohort, which is cohort Gen 23, start from Jan 23 until June 25. Okay, so same thing with the February cohort, also start from February and then end with the, so none of them end with the other dates. I think everybody else will end with the June, because this is the last month in the historical period. Okay, so it's fine. So this cohort has the 19 customer. This one has 11 customer, and this one has 13. Okay, so it depends on mm, the depends on the joining date. In certain month there will be a lot of when you add a promotion discount or anything, then a lot of people join your company, but then after the discount they will leave. They will make no purchase. Okay, so that's how it happens in cohort, from the cohort point of view. So in certain month you see a lot of customer joining in, then you expect that, oh, the company do something about the promotion or discount or something, and wants the sales or something in order to make to acquire a lot of new joiners. Okay, so this is one way to test, to list the cohort, and then you see here there are 15 of them, 15 cohort. There's another way to check this number. So if I want to check if the cohort is valid or not, do I do something correct or not, then another way to do it is just to perform the revenue recognition by cohort. And then if I see the triangular shape, and then I'm done. But then if not, then I have something to do about it. Okay, let me show you how to do it in here. So in order to perform the cohort, uh, mm, in order to perform the cohort, uh, um, the cohort revenue recognition by cohort, I need to look up this table, look up this cohort number. Sorry, this look up the cohort number here. I need to look up this cohort number uh, with the original customer code. Okay, so that's I'm going to do next. So in here, I need to look up in from here to here. So I will use the customer code here to match the same customer code, and I don't bring everything. Okay, so this is a little bit annoying because they just select for me. I don't bring everything. I only bring the cohort number over here, and I will perform the revenue recognition by cohort. Okay, okay, so this one I think okay, because it has the time, monthly time in here already. Uh, there's a little bit problem with this one because it has the duplicate. You can see here the duplicate part, and I don't like it because if I do the duplicate, then it will break my structure. It will duplicate the month for the customer. So I will remove the duplicate one. I will only select the FY tag with the raw. Okay. So later I show you why I do this. But for now, I want to see the triangular shape of the revenue table. Okay, so revenue recognition with the pivot table here, I will recognize the revenue by the cohort, and then in the monthly basis, and then I put the revenue in here and sum all of them together. Okay. So after this, and I have to sort my rows with the cohort number, otherwise I won't see the triangular shape. So I sort this one in the ascending order, and then done. Okay, so after this, you can see here, uh, along the row, you can see the triangular here, like this, and then until the end. So this guy join in here and then contribute until here. So the triangular must be, the shape must uh, be preserved or observed in this case. Okay, how to read this table? This one joined in January 23 and contribute from 23 all the way to the end. Okay, so that's how we read it. This one joined in May and then contribute from May 23 all the way to the end. If you see some contribution in here, your data is wrong already. So something is wrong with your data already, because this is the joining date, and then you have to contribute from the joining date toward the end. Cannot be like contribute before the joining date. So if you see something not triangular or something like at random in here, contribution in here, then you have to question yourself, is something wrong with your data. Okay, so now I'm done with the triangular shape. I will show you why I do this one. I do this test by remove it. Okay, so now I will choose everybody. I will choose uh, any. So in the in the any language, in alteryx, you can choose one to one, one equal one, which is any also. Or you can say true like this. Eh, eh? I think okay, never mind. One uh, smaller than two also say the same thing. Okay, so in the language, alteryx language, you can say this, and then you can choose everything. Now, what happened with this view? Uh, Actually, not much happened, but it duplicate the number from January onward. So you can see here, right? So in here, the number is like 22, 29, 29, and suddenly this one become double. So suddenly it become like 50,000 something, 50, 50, and 40, 40,000 something. And until July, after July, and then it become the normal one. Okay, so this one actually June, in June it's become normal already, 12 and then something already. Okay, so it just because we I think in this case the triangular shape is reserved, but then the number is wrong because you double count the YTD 24 in this from this month to this month. Okay, so from January 24 to June 24, and then this is not, is the big no-no in accounting and also in FDD. So in short, you have to use this thing tag equal to raw only, and you get rid of the duplicate part, and then therefore you can get rid of the double accounting. Okay, in here you can see that the duplicate one is the one in YTD 34. Okay, so after this, and then you have the triangular shape, and then the number looks very regular to you, and then you are done with the cohort listing. Okay, so guys, so hopefully after this you understand, you can put the customer listing and cohort listing in your live engagement. So the point here is not about the finding or anything FDD in particular, but it's just to check the list of customer and the list of cohort that you need to work with, and then you need to confirm the number later to the client or to your manager. So after this exercise, I have to, hey, they have about 195 customer, and then they have about 15 cohort, no more. If they have more, then I would say that there's something wrong with their number already. Or you can see in the AFS, they report a list of like 200 customers. Then you will say that, oh, how come there's something wrong with your report? Because I don't in total in this data set, I can see only 195 customer only, and then you claim that in the other report that you have 500 or 200 customer, which is not what I observed in this case. Okay, so that's how it works in, and that's why you have to perform customer listing and cohort listing in FD context.